This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Be advised that the views and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Opinion Leaders. And today we will be talking about a problem, a general concern, actually, for everyone, which is, of course, the problem of public transportation, effective public transportation, safe, and of course also something that is environmentally friendly. And with my guest who has actually a lot of things that he's doing right now, Mr. Romel Juan.
Hi.
It's very nice to meet you. You are the president of EVAP, right? Which is the Electric Vehicle Association of the Philippines. Also the president of Binalot, and we've been eating there for a long time. And also, you are also the...
I'm the CEO for Philippine Utility Vehicle, PHUV Inc.
Okay. And so you're doing a lot. Sir, paano yan? I guess before I ask anything else, how do you manage your time?
Anyway, thank you very much, William, for inviting me here in your show, Opinion Leaders. I'm very honored to be counted as an opinion leader. No?
Yes, sir.
Well, the electric vehicle industry actually started in 2007.
Yes.
And actually, it was the city of Makati that first introduced the electric jeepneys.
So that's about mga 9 years na, sir, that
Yeah.
you started an electric, and yung para bang the development of how it started. So the very first electric vehicle was introduced in 2007 on the road.
Yes, ganito yan. It was actually Greenpeace advocates. Now, Greenpeace advocates wanted to introduce electric jeepneys, e-jeepneys in Makati. Kaya lang, when they launched the first 2 units, we realized it was made in China.
Okay.
So we called them up because we're part of the Motor Vehicles Parts Manufacturers Association. So we called them up, sabi namin, hey, if you're gonna launch an electric jeepney, it can't be made in China because this is a Filipino icon. You know, it has to be made in the Philippines. No? So sabi namin, if you allow us, we will make a local electric jeepney for you. So that's how we got into electric jeepneys. We imported the components. You know, electric vehicles only have 4 major components. Okay. The battery, the charger, the motor, and the controller. So wala tayo lahat nun. So we had to import that. But all the rest we had, you know, because we make parts naman for the automotive industry. No?
Yes.
So we built it up, and then we launched it in 2007 with then Mayor Binay and the Greenpeace advocates. That time they were called GRIP, the Green Renewable Independent Power Producers. And then from there, nag-launch na sila. They ordered about 30 units from us, and up to now they're still running. I think 10 are still running. No? So that's close to 9 years already, and they're still running here in Makati.
Sir, eto, no, before we continue on, that's a very good point, no, because people always want to be able to make their investments last a long time, di ba? Can it actually match up or even more to, let's say, a traditional fossil fuel, diesel-powered jeepney?
Yes, that's a good question. Thank you for that. Actually, if you compare it, no, with the regular jeepney, no, although I have to share that the average age of the jeepneys right now, that the kings of the roads,
30 years.
As 20 to 30 years, no, yun. So, pero pag may jeepney ka, usually it lasts maximum mga 5 to 7 years, no? And then you have to change the engine.
Yes.
Or the engine should be reconditioned, no?
Kasi diesel nga.
Kasi
because it burns
diesel
dirty.
and tsaka palaging gamit na gamit yan, no? But the electric motor, has less moving parts, no?
Okay.
Actually, maintenance free siya because you don't need to change oil. Wala naman change oil ang
You
electric
just
motor.
need to make sure that the battery, yung in the
Battery lang
charger.
ang, yeah.
Oo.
You have to maintain the battery properly. So, proof of concept, the ones here in Makati are almost 9 years old, still running. Actually, ang rated capacity ng electric motors 20 years eh.
Wow.
So, if you're talking about payback, I think it may more than paid.
Yung
Nag-ROI na
ROI,
siya.
yes.
Nag-ROI na siya several times.
Okay. And syempre, of course, the reason why we're introducing electric vehicles in the first place is because we're having a problem with, of course, our environment. Andiyan na yung global warming, yung climate change, and the excessive use of fossil fuels contributes to this. And syempre, of course, yung emissions, it's bad for the health, also personal health. And yung parabang, syempre, because it burns dirty, yung parabang, ano siya, hindi talaga siya environmentally friendly. Whereas when you use electric vehicles, kung tutuusin with the traffic in our country, you don't need to go very fast anyway. So it addresses it with no smog, no emissions.
No noise.
No noise.
No problem.
No problem. It can't just go as fast, but then nobody really needs to with the road conditions right now, diba?
You know, you touch so many topics there, and I'm glad you're really knowledgeable about these things. No? Natapos lang yung Paris Agreement, the COP21 in Paris. No? And the commitment of the Philippines is to reduce air pollution by 70% no, by 2020, I think. The fastest way...
Is it doable?
The fastest way, it is, no? It is doable. The fastest way to do that is to replace jeepneys. Well, not totally, no? A portion of the jeepneys into electric, okay? Do you know that jeepneys comprise 2% of the total vehicle population in Metro Manila?
That's quite big. No?
But they contribute 80% of the air pollution.
Jeepneys.
Jeepneys.
Hindi buses.
Hindi buses.
Okay.
Hindi buses, jeepneys. Why? Because the jeepneys, average age nga 20 years. So, yun nga. They've done it with the taxis, they've done it with the buses, the 15-year rule. No? If you're 15 years or older, you cannot register your vehicle anymore. If they do it with the jeepneys, then we will have much cleaner air in the Philippines, no? Especially in Metro Manila. So, simulan, yun yung pinupush namin. No? If you modernize the jeepneys, that's why the Philippines is I would say, the perfect storm for electric vehicles, for electric vehicle development.
In the ASEAN region.
In the ASEAN region. And we can actually position ourselves, the Philippines can actually position itself as the electric vehicle hub of Asia. Kasi nauna na tayo eh. Actually, compared to the other ASEAN countries, we have the most electric vehicle programs running right now. The Makati Green Route running right now. In Philinvest, there's a 360 Eco Loop running right now. Muntinlupa, e-jeepneys for free, e-jeepney ride for free. The Ateneo e-jeeps. Mandaluyong has launched their e-trike program.
So marami na rin.
Madami na. We have the most in Asia. So, ang perfect na, ang strategy ng Electric Vehicle Association, let's hit the public transport sector first, the domestic market, where you don't need to go head-to-head with the big boys, where the domestic players can supply, and then critical mass is achieved, and once you do that, we can export outside of the country.
So it's another source, bukod sa it will help our country with all of those things we talked about earlier, it is now also another source of income for the economy.
Very.
Because, I mean, we're used to it, diba? Even in the production of, like, let's say, owner jeepneys and yung passenger jeepneys, magaling naman tayong gumawa eh. Ando naman talaga yung craftsmanship. So, if we can translate this into our electric vehicles, whatever it is that we need, no? Because right now, I understand PHAV ba yan? PHUV, yung parang marami na kayong partners, di ba? Marami ng manufacturers. And more than that, it's not just about tricycle and jeepneys, but some other vehicles that cater to what the public needs also. Kung alimbawa, if you don't need something quite as big as a jeepney, but then not quite as small as a tricycle, pwede naman pag-usapan yan.
Pwede. Actually, PHUV is our company. We started in 2007. We incorporated that originally to make local Asian utility vehicle. Dapat gusto namin gumawa ng local vehicle for the domestic market. Although that didn't happen because we couldn't find an engine supplier. So tamang-tama, when the electric jeepney opportunity came, we grabbed it, and then PHUV became an electric vehicle company. So we're the pioneer electric vehicle company in the Philippines.
I see. And you are also a member, of course, ito yung pala kanina, yung sinabi ko, EVAP,
Yes.
di ba? EVAP, ito yung marami kayong mga miyembro. All manufacturers under EVAP are reputable.
Yes.
So
Okay, so what happened was, so we started 2007. In 2000, maraming mga nag-introduce din, ano? Kaya lang a lot of them were not very reputable, and there were some fly-by-night companies who just supply the vehicles and then left, you know, and
Walang
nang
after sales.
walang after sales, walang parts. So naturally, the programs didn't work.
Right.
No? So what we did was we formed EVAP, and we gathered together all the credible players of the electric vehicle industry para umpisa pa lang, kasi baka umpisa pa lang, sira na di ba?
Yes.
So we gathered them together, and then we strategized, no? And then a year after that, we organized the Electric Vehicle Summit. No, ang partners namin si Meralco, partners namin si Motolite, Clean Air Asia is our partner, and EVAP. So we call ourselves the Electric Vehicle Alliance, the EVA. And then we set up the summit, and then we invited foreign investors, foreign players.
Okay.
And we were very successful because now there are several Japanese companies in the Philippines who've set up shop already and are producing electric vehicles in the Philippines. And Taiwan, Korea, nandito na sila.
So lumalaki talaga tayo, basically. Yung
Lumalaki.
So the future of electric vehicles are actually on the bright note.
Oh yeah. I'm not saying it's instant, no.
Yes.
It was a slow burn, 2007 up to now, close to 10 years. But now we're finally harvesting what we
Yes.
planted. No? So ngayon, traction. There's already traction. No. So the ADB actually, together with DOE, put out a bid for 3,000 electric tricycles that they will distribute in different LGUs in the Philippines. No? Pinabid na nila yan. Ang nanalo is BMAC. It's a Japanese company that established itself in the Philippines also. So they will be producing the 3,000 vehicles.
Nice. So we can see more of them around Metro Manila.
Yes.
And syempre, even in the provinces, these are also very, para bang even to take kids to school, itong mga e-jeepneys na ito is actually a good option, di ba?
If you think about it, the volume of the vehicles to be replaced, yung public transport sector natin, there are 350,000 jeepneys in the Philippines aching to be replaced. No? 60,000 of which are in Metro Manila. 1.2 million tricycles aching to be replaced. Kasi
Karag-karag na.
karag-karag, tapos yung iba niyan two-stroke pa.
Ha?
Two-stroke engine. So talagang gas, polluting talaga
At
yung
saka,
mga vehicles
syempre,
na yan.
because they're old, at saka yun nga, like you said, two-stroke engines, mahirap din ito because you keep on moving. It's, you know, you're driving it like it's a manual
Yes.
transmission car.
Yes.
Whereas, of course, if you have an electric vehicle, because of it's just forward and reverse, para bang also the stress on the driver is much less.
Actually,
diba?
you mentioned that, no, na you don't need the speed. You
Yeah.
don't need the speed in the roads in Metro Manila. 60 kilometers lang, you should be more than happy.
Yes.
No, pero ang kagandahan pa nito, we don't need it to be so high-tech. Okay?
Needs to be basic.
It needs to be basic. So, kayang-kaya natin gawin domestically. No?
Okay.
We don't need high-tech suspension, high-tech aerodynamics. We don't need high-tech hydraulic brakes and everything.
Yes.
Basic lang lahat for our public transport. Kasi pag high-tech ka na, ang kalaban mo na Tesla, kalaban mo na Nissan Leaf, kalaban mo na Toyota Prius, which are also good, you know. For us, the Electric Vehicle Association of the Philippines, our only mandate is to promote electric vehicles.
Yes. And to make it, of course, affordable because if they're going to be more expensive than what's existing, syempre, hindi rin yun magiging good option.
Yes.
So, ayun, pag-usapan natin when we come back from our break. I know that you did mention about the summit and we will be experiencing that again this April 15. So, let's talk about our electric vehicle summit. When we return, don't change the channel. Opinion Leaders will be right back after
Thank
these
you.
messages.